Atlanta is changing fast, and I am not talking about a new Chick-fil-A or some cute apartment buildings. I am talking about billion-dollar projects that are really reshaping the way this city looks, feels, and functions. So in this video, I am going to break down the top 4 improvements that are happening in Atlanta right now. And if you stick around to the end, I've got a bonus one that you definitely need to know about. So let's get into it. If you're new here, my name is Melinda Reese, and I sell real estate right here in this Atlanta area. And I am completely obsessed with keeping you in the know about everything that's happening around the city. So the first one I have to talk about is the Stitch project. Now, if you're not familiar, this is a massive project that is going to cover part of the downtown connector. They are literally building a 14-acre park over the highway. Now, right now, downtown and Midtown are split by that stretch of 75-85. And honestly, this has been dividing the city since the 1950s. So entire communities, when they put that in, were completely torn apart. So the goal of the Stitch is aiming to reconnect them. Now, this plan includes green space, walkable plazas, and even thousands of affordable housing units, which everybody is talking about. And they are not playing with the cost either, because it is costing over $700 million. Now, phase 1 is breaking ground in 2026, and they are calling this a game changer for downtown. And you know what? They're not wrong. So if you own anywhere near this area, pay attention, because this is going to change the entire energy of this area. Now let's shift over to a neighborhood that you all know and love, and we're going to talk about Amsterdam Walk. It is right by Piedmont Park. For years, this area has been filled with local gyms. They've got yoga studios, quirky shops, lots of restaurants, but that is all about to be transformed. So Portman Holdings is coming in with a huge mixed-use development. It's over 1,000 apartments, retail, restaurants, the work. But let me be honest with you, the neighborhood of Virginia Highlands, that Midtown section, they did not go quietly on this one. People were completely fired up at these community meetings. They were all worried about the traffic, the tall buildings, and just losing the vibe of the area. Now, the developers ended up cutting the building heights down from 17 to 9 stories, and they did reduce the density by 17%. So with those changes, City Council did approve it, and it is moving forward. So if you are near Virginia Highlands or Morningside, keep an eye on this one. Now, speaking of parks, let's talk about Piedmont Park, because for the first time in 25 years, it is getting a major upgrade. So they've got new entrances at Monroe and Piedmont with concessions, restaurants, and a huge new plaza. They're also adding pickleball courts, more picnic areas. They're cleaning up Lake Clara, which is much needed, and they're building a new canopy level walking trail to ease up the traffic on the Beltline. Now, the first phase is expected to cost between 50 and 75 million, and this is a 10 to 15 year plan, but when it's done, it is going to completely elevate the park experience. All right, so now let's head over west, because the Beltline Westside Trail is finally coming together. They are finishing a 7-mile stretch that's going to connect downtown all the way to the West End. So if you're in Adair's Park, Oakland City, or Westview, this is going to change everything. So you're going to be able to walk or bike from your neighborhood straight to Piedmont Park once this whole thing is complete. So it's not just about trails. This is about access, walkability, and long-term growth. So these areas are going to see a huge shift in attention, value, and investment. And while the West Side is finally getting its long-awaited connection, the East Side is also heating up, but in a completely different way. So over in Reynoldstown, the developer behind Star Metals just bought up over 2 acres right on the Beltline. Now, they haven't released the full plans yet, but if you've seen what they did on the West Side, you already know this is going to be high-end luxury, and it's going to be transformative. It's probably going to include some retail, some residential, maybe some office or some public space. Now, they're betting big on the Beltline East Side, and that means things are going to shift fast over there too. So expect prices to climb, expect new development, and expect a lot of attention on that stretch of that Wiley Street. So those are the 4 developments that are happening in Atlanta, but of course, it wouldn't be me if I didn't mention Brookhaven. So here's the deal of what's going on in Brookhaven. The Corporate Square redevelopment just got approved, and it is going to completely change that whole area near North Druid Hills and Buford Highway. So it used to be a big old office park. It is about to turn into luxury townhomes, condos, office spaces, some retail, and even a new public park. Now, I know Buford Highway is probably the last thing that comes to mind when you think about luxury, but that's what makes this project so interesting. This is not just a facelift. This is a complete rebrand of the area, and it's going to make people really see Brookhaven a lot differently. And the city has already passed the zoning, so this is not if it's happening, it's just when. So if you own in Brookhaven or you're looking to buy, this is the kind of project that could push values up and bring a new wave of high-end interest. Now, I've been saying it all the time and I'll continue to say it. Brookhaven is on the rise, and this is just more proof of that. So that wraps up the biggest headlines and developments moving in the last 30 days. Atlanta is definitely changing fast, and if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss it. So be sure to like and subscribe so that I can keep you in the know on everything that's happening in the city of Atlanta. I'll see you next time.